Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, May 21, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know though that's been liking your ear recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so taking a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook, we can see that they've highlighted an area right there east of the Bahamas, north of the Turks and Caicos Islands, that has a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days, but that's contradicting to what they're saying in their description. It says here, a broad low is producing a large area of disturbed weather extending a couple hundred miles northeast of the Bahamas. Environmental conditions are expected to become less favorable later today, and development of this system is not expected as it moves generally northeastward over the southwestern Atlantic at 5 to 10 miles per hour during the next couple of days. So it has a 10% tropical cyclone formation during the next 48 hours and next 7 days, sorry. But considering that it is moving to the northeast, the conditions will become less favorable later on this evening. Alright, so taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see the L that represents that broad area of low pressure. That's the area of low pressure that we've been talking about attached to the trough for the past several days. That's bringing a lot of heavy rainfall to sections of the Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Hispaniola, Haiti, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico at this time. And we can also see that we still have the tropical wave that's now made it equidistant between Africa and South America right there, and it's still attached to the intertropical convergence zone. We can also see that the entire Atlantic basin is still being dominated by that ridge of high pressure that's sending a lot of easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. Taking a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, we can see a lot of clouds associated with that area of low pressure. You can see the clouds spinning right there, right off to the east of the Bahamas. And we can also see a lot of cloud cover showers and thunderstorms affecting portions of Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic and Haiti. We can also see a lot of cloud cover right there across portions of Central and South America. So anywhere from Costa Rica eastward, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, not to mention sections of the Windward Islands getting on some amount of passing rainfall from east-west. So areas like St. Vincent, Barbados, Grenada, sections of Tobago and Trinidad getting in on some rainfall right there. And we'll be talking more about the rest of the weather across the Caribbean later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about Jamaica's weather for Sunday. It was stated that we would have received some afternoon rainfall across sections of eastern, central and western Jamaica, with the bias across southern parishes in Jamaica. And what ended up happening? A post was made on our Twitter page at 12:56 p.m. in the afternoon, highlighting some clouds, bringing overcast skies and rainfall to sections of southern Jamaica. So Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as sections of St. Thomas, got in on some of that overcast skies and rainfall. And we even had her commenters confirming the rainfall on our Facebook page. Renisha stating it's raining, Shade stating it's raining as well. Even on our YouTube page, we had a comment from Suzette Christie stating, "Good day to you, weather Jamaica. Got some rain yesterday in Spanish Town. Right now having some rain, lightning and thunder. Thank God for the rain. Thank you for the weather update. You have a blessed day." So that indeed confirms the rainfall on the southern portion of the island, and we would have the commenters from our Instagram page to show you. However, at this moment, the Instagram website is down. Let's take a look at the next post that was made at 2:15 p.m. this afternoon, highlighting the very same. Clouds bring overcast sky showers and thunderstorms, and we even see some sparkling white dots in there that indicate the lightning flashes and the thunderstorms right there, and not to mention the colors associated with the infrared satellite images. And if we actually take a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, up to this point, we can see that we indeed had majority of those clouds becoming convective as soon as they went closer across the southern portion of the island. So we had majority of the south coast getting in on some rainfall for today. Majority of the north coast didn't get in on much at all. And if we actually take a look at the infrared satellite images right now, we can see that majority of the weather has moved off towards the south across the waters of the Caribbean Sea, and we can see that reflected on Doppler radar images with all of that rainfall represented by the greens and the yellows right there off the coast of Clarendon as well as to the far south of Kingston and St. Catherine. Taking a look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology's accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours, we see confirmation that we did indeed see that rainfall across eastern, central, and western Jamaica with the bias across southern Jamaica. So we're indeed grateful for the new weather pattern that we've been getting for the past 2 days. Hopefully this continues, as we know that the north coast has been getting majority of the rainfall for the past week. So it's time that we get our turn on the south coast, and we do hope it lasts and puts some kind of dent in this drought. Taking a look at temperatures for tonight, we can see that we have 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and as usual as the night progresses, these temperatures should be getting lower. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS are showing that by 1 p.m. on Monday, Jamaica should be embedded in some slight yellows that indicate at least 1 degree Celsius above average temperatures. And the average temperatures for the month of May are about 89 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the equivalent of 32 degrees Celsius. So if we're going to be getting 1 degree Celsius above normal, we should be getting anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius. Taking a look at the dry air map, we can still see that Jamaica is embedded in a lot of moist air as indicated by the blues. We don't have much yellows across the Caribbean. We don't have much reds. Majority of the driest air is right there to the northeast of the United States, not to mention the northwest of Africa. Taking a look at the Saharan dust map, we can see that we have majority of the dust right there across the main development region as well as sections of Africa. Right now Jamaica is in the clear for the forecasted 2 p.m. on Monday. Taking a look at wave forecast, we can see that we don't have much in the way of high wave heights for tomorrow. 1 meter wave heights or less is what is being predicted across the island, or across the waters surrounding the island for tomorrow. And that's due to the fact that we still don't have strong winds coming in anywhere across the island. We have majority of the island receiving variable winds, so the winds are coming from any direction at all, and the winds are coming anywhere from 0 to 5 knots. So we don't have much winds across the island. We have more blues, which will enhance more of the afternoon convection developing across eastern, central, and western Jamaica again. So all of that buildup of cloud excuse me, will have nowhere to go, so it will be there building up across especially inland areas of some eastern, central, western parishes. And then the upper level wind shear will be taking over. So once those clouds build up and turn into thunder clouds, lightning flashes, and go way up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, the upper level winds that are coming in from the northwest for tomorrow, we can see both the Euro and the GFS are showing northwesterly wind shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So that will be blowing all of that off towards the southeast and probably favoring more of the southern parishes, just like what we got today. So just like what we saw with all of the thunderclouds developing and then them being streaked out towards the south and the east, that is what we're going to be expecting again for tomorrow. Some more afternoon rainfall is in store for the south coast. Taking a look at the actual precipitation forecast for tomorrow, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS models are still showing lots of blues across eastern, central, and western Jamaica that mean rainfall. So we definitely have some rainfall to receive. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. So 3 p.m. even before 3 p.m. sections of the island should be getting in on some rainfall. And we can see the darkest shades of blues right there across southern Jamaica. Look right there, Manchester, May Pen. Sections of St. Thomas getting in on some of that as well. And the Euro model is in consensus with what the GFS is showing. I know that when we have consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Even on the accumulated precipitation forecast from both the Euro and the GFS models, we see that green shade and yellow shades across eastern, central, and western Jamaica with the bias across southern Jamaica. The Euro showing 0.43 of an inch. The GFS is a bit more robust, showing 0.67 of an inch of rainfall. So we definitely have some rainfall to receive across sections of the island for tomorrow. So if you have to go out, ensure that you bring your rain gear with you. And we're indeed grateful that we're getting all this rainfall, considering that we're in our secondary rainy season. In the month of May, we usually receive up to 213 millimeters of rainfall in this month, and although we're nowhere near that as yet, maybe it could be in some spots on the north coast, we're indeed grateful for the rainfall that we've been receiving so far, as well as the rainfall that we're going to be receiving up until the end of the month. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have that trough spinning away towards the east of the Bahamas, bringing overcast sky showers and thunderstorms sections of Hispaniola, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands. We have some clouds coming into sections of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, sections of Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, not to mention sections of Guatemala, Belize, and the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, getting in on some amount of overcast skies and rainfall as well. To confirm the rainfall that we've been seeing across sections of Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, we have a look at our Doppler radar images. You know that Doppler radar images show the actual rainfall, and these Doppler radar images come all the way from around 1:30 p.m. today, and we can see a lot of rainfall passing over sections of Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, not to mention the Leeward Islands, so St. Martin, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Kitts, Guadeloupe, Dominica getting in on some rainfall as well. Look at all of those yellows and reds within those greens across sections of Dominican Republic and southwestern Puerto Rico. That is what was happening earlier today, and even up to recording hour right now with the latest Doppler radar images, we still have some rainfall right there across sections of eastern Dominican Republic, southern Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands still getting in on some rainfall as well. Taking a look at the Barbados radar, as mentioned, those patches of clouds that were bringing some amount of rainfall right there to sections of the Windward Islands. You can see a lot of rainfall right there across sections of Grenada, not to mention St. Vincent, and we can also see some rainfall passing towards the south or south of Barbados right there, coming into section of southern Barbados, and we're indeed grateful for that rainfall considering the drought that those islands are experiencing at this time. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we already spoke about Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, but let's have a look right there across sections of Guyana, Suriname, getting in on some rainfall, sections of Venezuela right there, Colombia, sections of Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize getting in on some amount of rainfall as well. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we see some amount of disagreement on the temperature forecast. We can see on the GFS we have average to slightly below average temperatures across majority of the Caribbean from the eastern to the western Caribbean, with the above normal temperatures across Central America, as well as sections of Venezuela, sections of Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana as well, not to mention sections of Florida. However, on the Euro model, we have more in the way of above normal temperatures across those very spots that were just stated, with the below normal temperatures across sections of Texas and Mexico. So we see some amount of disagreement, no consensus right there. So we shall see exactly what unfolds with that tomorrow. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we can see that majority of the Caribbean is in the clear, with all of this dust associated with the Sahara Desert right there across the main development region and Africa. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that the highest waves are represented by the purples right there, off towards the north of the Caribbean, and this due to the fact of those strong winds that are brought about by that low pressure. You can see the yellows within those greens that represent up to 25 knot winds or more, and that's due to that area of low pressure that was highlighted by the US National Hurricane Center. So that is what's going to be, fueling those high waves across those spots, while the rest of the Caribbean should be getting less winds, anywhere from 0 to, let's say, 10 knot winds at most. And we can see consensus on both the Euro and the GFS models, and when we have consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Taking a look at the rain forecast for tomorrow, we can see that both the Euro and the GFS are in consensus that Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, anywhere all the way down to the southeastern Caribbean, so anywhere from Dominica southward, so Martinique, sections of St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados should be getting in on some rainfall. Lots of reds in there that are indicative of up to an inch of rainfall as well. Not to mention flood triggering rainfall that these rainfall totals could trigger across those spots. Look at sections of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica getting in on some amount of rainfall for tomorrow. Even some purples in there that indicate 3 inches of rainfall or more. So try to take necessary precautions that you're not that drastically affected by whatever amount of rainfall that you guys receive for tomorrow. Taking a look at the western portion of the basin, we can see some rainfall right there across sections of Mexico, sections of Guatemala and Belize to be getting in on some rainfall tomorrow. We see consensus or agreement. I know that when we have consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.